So Donald Trump, he has announced on multiple occasions various plans when he becomes president again, which he's hoping to do. He wants to become dictator for at least one day. He wants to basically make himself president for life. He's going to, it just goes on and on, right? So now he's got this new thing, and this is, Stephen Miller has been talking about this, as has Donald Trump. And it's a law that has been on the books for a long, long time. It's called the Alien Enemies Act. And the Alien Enemies Act is basically a piece of legislation that was designed to target foreign agents, principally spies, within our country during time of war. So, I mean, this goes back to World War I, World War II. Say during World War II, if there was a German spy here in the United States, you go after him with the Alien Enemies Act. It's substantial. It gives you the ability to arrest people, to deport people, to put people in prison for long periods of time. So Donald Trump says that, and Steve Miller say that if this law, which was first passed in 1798, and it says that the president himself can remove any foreign national over the age of 14 from the United States. That this law, and by the way, you have to have declared war on a country. We haven't declared war on a country since World War II. But he says that he's going to identify cartels, gangs, and drug dealers in Latin America and within the United States who have, he's saying we can use this law to attack Mexico because they're so corrupt, and we can use this law to attack gang members in the United States. This is the kind of, I don't care what the law says, I'm a tough guy stuff that appeals to authoritarian right-wingers. That they just, they love this kind of stuff. And he even said, it's not enough to deport the bosses and the drug dealers. He wants to expel their family members and their associates as well. A future Trump administration could, quote, suspend the due process that normally applies to a removal proceeding. That's a quote from Steve Miller. He was on a talk radio show back in September, and he said this. So that Trump could carry out mass deportations and he could start filling his concentration camps, essentially the same way that Adolf Hitler did in the early 1930s in Germany. The first camps, I've been to Dachau a couple of times. It's near Munich and, kind of between Munich and Nuremberg. And I used to live just north of Nuremberg, and Dachau was not built as a death camp. There were literally hundreds, I believe over 400 of these concentration camps built in Germany, and they were called concentration camps because they concentrated people. In other words, they were points where the criminals in society were brought. They were basically just, prison camps. Now, toward the end of the war, they started killing people in those concentration camps. But the death camps, Hitler built all of the death camps outside Germany. So if they were ever discovered, he could say, oh, Belsen, that's the Dutch. Oh, I'm forgetting the name of the city in Poland, but, that was Poland. And, on and on and on, right? He could blame other countries. Well, this is what Donald Trump wants to do. Not the death camps part. He hasn't come out and said that. But the concentration camps, for sure. He's bragging about it. He wants to put millions of people in concentration camps in America. And just like Hitler started out by saying, we're going to put the enemies of the state in there. We're going to put illegal immigrants in there. We're going to put communists in there. People who there's a broad consensus are bad for our country. And then, within a matter of months, journalists started appearing in Dachau, and politicians started appearing in Dachau. And, and just that continued for the next 8 years, for the rest of Hitler's rule. This is what Donald Trump says out loud he wants to do here in the United States. And we should take him seriously.